What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the 10-7 MMA podcast. I'm your host, DS, and as always, I'm here with my good pal and my main man, Dino Bam Bam.
Thank you, Dino. What's going on?
Not much. Just hanging out.
Chilling?
With you.
Just recording?
Just recording.
All right. Thank you guys so much for liking and subscribing. If you haven't, please do that on YouTube and on Instagram, the 10-7 MMA. That's the number 7. We really do appreciate it. We have a really cool follower on Instagram. It's this dude right here, light heavyweight champion Yuri Prochazka, my boy.
You think he's still the champion?
He's still the champion.
True, but my boy is the champion. But that's another my boy. I will say, I love Yuri.
I like Jamal Hill. He's born in Chicago. Shout out Chi-Town. I got the Bulls going everywhere. Anyways, please like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. Thank you guys for the comments. Thank you guys for everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And today, what we'll be covering is, of course, this incredible,
beautiful,
amazing,
gorgeous,
just mind-blowing,
spectacular
card.
Yeah.
Headlined by none other than
my girl,
Erin Blanchfield.
Not my girl.
I pulled a little switcheroo on you there. Jessica Andrade.
My girl.
Your girl. Yeah, there are some prospects on this card, and, we'll see what happens, but on paper, not the best card after what we saw last weekend, especially in the main event.
Yeah.
But, in any case, do we have any other things to talk about before we get into it? You got any MMA news you want to get into?
Yeah, just some quick bites here as far as news is concerned. Obviously, we know Dan Hooker has pulled out of his fight with Jalen Turner on the next pay-per-view, which is 285. Is that correct?
Yep.
John Jones versus Cyril Gane, UFC 285. Dan Hooker stepped out. He had surgery on his hand. Here comes Mateusz Gamrot jumping in to fight Jalen Turner. To me, that makes the fight a ton better. I know that me and you have talked about it. Makes this fight a lot more interesting for Jalen Turner and for Mateusz Gamrot. I'm interested to see
what you've got Gamrot winning.
Right now, but this is very preliminary. I got to watch some film. Love both guys. We move on. The next bit of news I have is two of my boys are in Bellator, and they're going to be fighting for the 135-pound bantamweight championship. Rafion Stotts, who's a my boy, and Patchy Mix, who's a big-time my boy.
I know that's your boy for sure.
Met both of these dudes, both really nice guys.
What do you mean, Patchy Mix? Was it Vegas?
I met him at Vegas.
I remember you telling me.
He
and at the time, I didn't know who he was, and I was like, that sounds like a really good trail mix.
You were at the casino, but we were just...
It sounds like a trail mix that, like...
Patchy Mix.
There's some other bits in there.
Yeah.
Like some mystery bits.
After this, we can go chill and eat some Patchy Mix if you're down.
Right. And I'd probably be like, no thank you, but thank you.
You would stop. No thank you.
I'm pretty hungry. So,
I'm saying. Yeah. But yeah, good for those guys. They're fighting for the title and $1 million. Wish them both the best of luck.
I would fight you right now for $1 million.
I'd fight my mother. I'd fight you. Your sister's a really nice lady.
Wow.
I'd fight her.
Okay.
I'm fighting you. I'd fight Yuri for $1 million.
Same.
Our coolest follower.
Same. I'll take a nap for $1 million.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. I'm willing to get knocked out for a cool mill.
Yep.
So, anyways, that's all I got.
On that note, let's jump right into the card. We've got an 11-fight card this week.
Yeah.
You be the judge. Could be better, right? After the card we've seen, like we said, but some prospects, right? Let's jump right into it. We've got the first fight of the night, Juan Camilo Ronderos versus ya boy Clayton Carpenter. Give me your thoughts, Dino Bam Bam.
I have not specified Clayton Carpenter as a my boy.
True. I throw the term around loosely.
I'm just saying, if we can do this thing where you designate or I can designate a my boy for you, totally cool with that.
Sure.
But anyways, Clayton Carpenter, Contender Series kid making his UFC debut, 4-time national Muay Thai champion, junior Golden Gloves boxing champion, 4 years he was a Pancration champion. Kid comes in with a lot of accolades. On top of...
He's no Bas Rutten.
Well, no, but who is?
Nobody.
Bas Rutten is. How cool was that video? Remember that video from Bas Rutten where he's like... He's just doing crazy stuff. And
he was the one that was Pancrase, right?
Yeah, he was in everything.
He was incredible, dude.
He was in everything.
But I saw like a YouTube video where they broke down his Pancrase career. Yeah. It was incredible.
It's Bas Rutten. Legend of the game. Shout out Bas Rutten.
Shout out Bas Rutten, honestly.
He's not watching, but if he is, shout out
Maybe
Bas
one
Rutten.
day.
One day. Well, Yuri does it.
Right. So I'm saying.
Yeah. Anyways, so Clayton Carpenter comes in with all these high accolades as far as striking's concerned, but to me, he's more of a ground guy. We saw in his last few fights, he's willing to take the fight to the ground. He wants to take the fight to the ground. Fishes for submissions while he's down there. On the other hand, we have Juan Camilo Ronderos. His first UFC fight, he was subbed by David Dvorak who was a top 15 ranked
I thought
guy.
that was crazy. I thought that was crazy that
he took that fight.
Bro, Juan Camilo Ronderos had a loss. I want to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, I want to say he had a loss, like, dude, 2 fights before he...
Well, that was his first fight. That was his first loss.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about somebody else. Yeah. But he lost to David Dwork. It was weird to me that they threw him in against him. But then when you think about it, he had 12 hours notice. 12 hours notice. And that's commendable. And that's awesome. So good for him.
Yeah.
Taking nothing away. But yeah, I mean, please keep going.
So my man was sitting at home on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
Got a phone call to come to the UFC and fight on Saturday night, which is insane.
It's nuts.
So he signed the contract. He took on a
top that might be like the shortest notice ever.
It may be.
Yeah.
It may be. So
it's probably one of those where it's like we've talked about this before. Where it's like you do the UFC a favor, they do you a favor.
Right, but are they really doing him a favor here? Personally, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I mean, he's a fine fighter, but he hasn't fought in about 2 years. Maybe he's gotten better. He trains at Extreme Couture, I believe.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. So. Does he train at Extreme Couture?
He does.
Okay, yeah.
What, Ronderos?
Yeah.
He does.
So trains at a good gym, great training partners. He's probably gotten better within the last 2 years. I just don't see it for him, man. I think Clayton Carpenter is a little too much for him at this point. I have Clayton Carpenter winning a decision. There's a potential for a late round sub, though, is what I see.
Yeah, I agree with you for the most part, man. You know, Juan Ronderos, you know, I've seen him like versus Matthew Elliott in his fight. It was at WXC. He was dominated in the first round on the ground. Mm-hmm. He ended up getting like a weird crucifix, like ground head guard choke.
That was really weird.
Submission, and then his arm popped, and then he like got up and started fighting him again, which was crazy. And he was like trying to play it off like his arm wasn't broken. The announcer was swearing, but
what the?
Yeah,
it was really calm. The way the announcer swore was really cool. You don't see this too much in sports. But the announcer was like, and here you could see his arm pop out, and then he gets up and he's swinging.
Yeah, he like recapped it. Yeah, and, I was like, what's kind of crazy is like they know it's on Fight Pass, so they know it's UFC based, you know. Yeah, but anyway, you know, Juan Ronderos is not that big for the division. You know, I don't know, man. I feel like Clayton Carpenter, like you said, you pretty much covered it all. I think he's got the higher upside. You know, he's a little bit younger. I think a year or two. I think Clayton Carpenter is actually legit.
Yeah.
I think he is a little bit raw. You know, like he's got some things that he can work on
for sure.
But the knee bar that he got on Nick Clem,
nasty,
crazy. You can tell he was actually reaching for that. He didn't luck into it. He had an amazing head kick knockout in like 10 seconds versus Kialohi.
Yeah. That was his last fight in, was that LFA?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Which was crazy. Like, that was... So, to see him get, like, a crazy submission, a crazy knockout, he looks stacked for the division.
Thick little kid.
Ronderos doesn't look that big. And, man, versus Kairez, he had some really brutal ground and pound from the top position. I think he's very well-rounded, man. Like you said, I think you're right. I think it's either going to be a submission or a decision or maybe a submission.
Yeah.
But probably a decision.
Yeah.
I'll say 30-27.
Yeah. And last thing I just want to throw in, I worry a little bit about Clayton Carpenter. He is very green. So
he is, but it's not. He's
like
Camilo Ronderos 4-1. He's 6-0. Yeah. Like I don't think that's an advantage for Ronderos. To be honest,
that's fair. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Yep.
In any case, moving on up the card, the next fight on the list is AJ Fletcher versus ya boy Themba Gorimbo,
twice,
which is the funnest night or the funnest name to say on this entire card for sure by far.
Themba Gorimbo.
I'll go first on this one.
Please do. How highly do you think of Themba Gorimbo?
As a person, very highly. As an MMA fighter, a little bit less highly. Okay. You know.
So name contest, he wins.
Well, if it was a name contest, he would be the best on this card.
Best in the UFC?
Maybe the best in the UFC.
Like he's ranked.
Easily ranked.
He's ranked.
But, yeah, I mean, AJ Fletcher, you know, since 2019, he was, 9-0. He lost to Semmelsberger.
Semi the Jedi, baby.
Semi the Jedi. We've seen Semmelsberger in, like, legit UFC fights against legit competition.
Yeah.
And doing really well, whether he wins or loses. He had ring control. He took him down, or octagon control, I'm sorry. He took him down very easily in the first, I think a couple times. You know, he also throws some, like, spinning stuff. He's jacked. He's not, like, the tallest fighter for the division, but he's jacked.
Yeah.
I like him. I know he lost to Ange Lusa, and he was pretty heavily favored, I think, in that one. He just couldn't stop the right hand and just kept eating shots. But he had a decent chin, man. He didn't go down.
And he had Ange Lusa struggling bad in that second round.
Yeah.
Like, he had him on paper.
He could have finished him maybe.
Legs, yeah. Not maybe. It was damn close. That I wouldn't have had an issue if the fight was stopped.
Yeah, and I know Garimbo is very long and rangy.
Themba Garimbo.
Thank you, Themba Garimbo.
Right. Say it. I mean, if you're going to say it, give the guy
You're right.
Give the guys respect.
You're right.
Yeah.
Not the best takedown defense.
But the best name.
Absolutely. But I think for me, that's going to be the difference. I think AJ Fletcher is going to be able to take him down, even though he's the stockier, shorter fighter.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be able to take him down. Themba Garimbo just looks really raw to me.
Yeah.
He's very rangy, like I said. I don't think he has the biggest fight IQ, you know?
Yeah.
He tried to take down Ferreira, who was like a ground specialist.
Yeah.
And he was dominated on the ground after he took him down. Which is like, why would you do that? You should have done some research to understand that this isn't the fight to do that. Your skills aren't there yet. So for me, he gets a little sloppy. Mm-hmm. I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go with AJ Fletcher. And, man, I don't know. Probably by decision.
I like how you assume that I was going AJ Fletcher.
Oh, I'm sorry. We've talked about it. We've talked about it. But yeah. I'm going to go with AJ Fletcher.
Yeah.
Maybe by sub. Probably by decision.
Yeah.
He trains with Dustin Poirier. He's got high-level competition. Yeah.
Yeah. Same. I mean, yes, same. I see AJ Fletcher by decision, 30-27, potential late sub, kind of like the first fight. The thing with Garimbo is he's making his UFC debut. Themba Garimbo, sorry. He's making his debut, and he comes in with like high praise. Like a lot of people are talking about him.
See, I haven't heard that.
Like he's a stud. I've been seeing it.
That's the first I'm hearing about it.
I've been looking it up. Obviously we've been doing our research on these guys. There's a lot of people that think like this guy's legit.
He is from Zimbabwe. He comes from a tough.
Which is pretty cool. Yeah. You don't get too many guys from Zimbabwe in the UFC. Fights out of South Africa. Like there's a market there. That's a growing market with guys like Drickus and other people. But anyways, I don't see what's so good about him. On the feet, he throws like the loopy shots, and which obviously those are going to be powerful if they land. He's got a significant reach advantage here, which I don't think we touched on.
What is the reach advantage?
It's like 8.5 inches or like 9 inches. It's something ridiculous.
Whoa, okay.
And he is 4 inches taller. So there is that.
I've been doing this thing where I don't look at
the measurables
as much.
Yeah.
Nor any other predictions or anything because we watch so much film for you guys.
A ton.
So I really have been trying to base my decisions off of just the film that I watch and the analysis that I do.
Right.
So, but man, I really didn't think I could tell he's long, and I know AJ Fletcher's not.
Stocky guy, yeah.
But man, that 9, man, okay.
It's a lot, yeah. It's like
that's a lot. I still think his takedown defense trash.
Same. And what's weird to me is Themba Garimbo seems to want to take it to the ground. It seems like that's his plan. That's his plan. He's not much of a striker.
I don't think that's his plan.
I mean, every fight I've seen, he ends up on the ground. Whether it's him doing it or someone doing it to him. And when it is someone doing it to him, it seems like he's okay going there. Like he wants to. I just think,
even though AJ Fletcher has no wrestling background, I think he's one of the. He trains with Dustin Poirier. He trains with top level talent. I just think, like, you've seen it, man. He's one of those guys that's like weirdly good at wrestling that doesn't have a wrestling background.
Yeah, it happens. And for what it's worth, he is 7 years younger than Themba Garimbo.
Yep.
So, give me AJ Fletcher by decision, 30-27. Like I said, I could see that late-ish sub, and I don't think we need to do too much more talking about that. Jedi, I'm sorry. He was getting a lot of submission attempts on Jedi. So
early.
Yeah, early. So he is fishing for them, AJ Fletcher, so that's why I think the sub can happen.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. He has some wins by sub.
Yeah.
But, yeah. In any case, moving on to another fight on the card. Kind of weird that this one's this low given the status of the card, but it's names. OSP, Ovince St. Preux versus Felipe Lins. Both guys have bounced around the heavyweight and light heavyweight division. This particular fight is at light heavyweight, which I didn't know until after I watched the tape on both guys. Mm-hmm. Originally, I was going to go with Ovince St. Preux. After watching it, I think I'm leaning Felipe Lins. But let me know what you think, my friend.
Yeah, so we saw last time Felipe Lins with Marcin Prachnio, who's on this card later on. He looked good. He looked actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was a good fight.
Yeah, and then
Prachnio is no schlub.
No,
he's got really good arsenal of strikes. is he karate or taekwondo background?
I'm not sure, but
he's got like a kicking based background. Right. Man, Prachnio is one of those guys. We'll talk about him later, but he's had fights go either way. Weirdly,
right. So Felipe Lins looked solid against them, and then as far as Ovince St. Preux is concerned, it's like, hey man, he's had a great career. He's fought literally every single person at 205. Some people at heavyweight. Like OSP is a legend of the UFC.
No question.
And thank you for your service. Thank you for all the fun times. He's not the OSP of a few years ago.
Not even close.
I think it's time to pack it up. I think it's time to go. Like, he barely won against Shogun Rua at UFC 274.
And we saw him lose to Ihor Potieria recently, who's that?
Yeah, we don't think highly of Ihor Potieria personally.
I was telling, after we watched film of that card, I was telling you, or I think you even agreed, is that he doesn't really even necessarily belong in the UFC. Right. We'll see. Not to, but...
So anyways, Felipe Lins isn't anything special, but he's solid. Like I said, he beat Marcin Prachnio. I'm not confident in Felipe Lins, but I'm very confident that OSP is not who he used to be. Yeah. So for that and for really nothing else, I think Felipe Lins easily wins this fight. Decision, 29-28, potential 30-27. I don't see the threat from OSP anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I pretty much agree with you. OSP, like you said, legend. What else is there to be said? But he barely beat Shogun. He is he is one of the most notoriously slow starters. I even remember his corner at one of his last fights. Maybe it was against Shogun, being like, after the first round, be like, "Hey man, what are you waiting for?"
Yeah,
and like nothing. Like, yeah, okay. But he doesn't do it, man. He used to. He's still got some of the OSP things, right? He's still a long fighter. He throws. He's got powerful kicks. A really nice left kick. He's a southpaw fighter. But he almost never goes first, man. He waits, and in 3-round fights especially, you can't really wait like that. And Felipe Lins, I think, is just going to be too aggressive for him. At heavyweight, I hated Felipe Lins. I'll be honest with you. I think he was just like one of those typical guys who's like, I'm moving up from light heavyweight to heavyweight, and I'm just going to gain 30 pounds eating McChickens and McDoubles. Like, you know what I mean? Or whatever the Brazilian equivalent is.
Should we go get McChickens after this?
Probably not. We don't need one more of those.
No, either I was one just of those. Saying, maybe.
Nah,
Okay, never mind.
But I'm just saying, Felipe Lins, even though he's only fought one time in the last 3 years, after seeing him, when I watched the heavyweight fights, which was Felipe Lins' last couple, I was leaning OSP I think he's a pretty sizable underdog too, just to confirm.
He's not the same.
He's a plus 190 underdog. Felipe Lins minus 225, which makes after watching him at light heavyweight against Marcin Prachnio, like you said, who's on this card, who I don't think is a schlub by any means, I'm going to go with Felipe Lins. I think he's going to be too aggressive, man. I don't know that he's going to knock him out or anything like that. Probably by decision because OSP is just so safe. Right. But, yeah.
I feel that.
Moving up the card, the next fight on the card is Jamal Emmers versus Hussein Ashkabov. Your thoughts on that one, my friend?
Yeah, so we have Hussein Ashkabov. He's obviously the story of this fight. He's coming in, making his UFC debut.
Maybe the story of the card. He's a highly touted prospect, if you're not aware. Yeah,
right. So he's coming in at 23-0. He has the second current best undefeated record in MMA, in professional MMA, behind only Yaroslav Amosov, who's a champion at Bellator. So when you see that 23-0 record, you got to go check out the Sherdog, and you got to check out, you got to go check out their record, their Tapology, see what's up. So here we go. Last fight, he beat a guy who was 3-0. So we had a 22-0 guy fighting a 3-0 guy.
Yeah, I'm not. A lot of these guys, including Khabib from the Caucasus region, you see a lot of that.
I mean, it happens. So, but before that, his fight was with a 7-0 guy. That 7-0 guy, upon further inspection, had never fought anyone with a win in their career.
Yeah.
So, it is padded, but you assume it's padded. When you see a guy at 17, 18-0,
fairly young.
You assume a padded record. So let's find out. That's what we're interested to see. Let's find out when he gets some real competition. Then you have a guy like Jamal Emmers, who he's fighting. He's 5 years older. He's 33. Ashkabov's 28. But you have a guy in Jamal Emmers with a decent record and a decent past. He's beat Corey Sandhagen on the regional scene. Lost a split decision.
Wait, who did?
Emmers.
Whoa.
Yeah, so he beat Corey Sandhagen on the regional scene.
I did not know that.
Crazy. Then he lost the split decision in his UFC debut to Giga Chikadze.
You just blew my mind with that.
He's fought some good people, man. And what's
the Giga fight was really close.
Right. And
really close.
And here's the weirdest
And that wasn't that long ago.
No, I mean
2020? Yeah.
2020. Or maybe 2019.
Jinx, you want Minnesota.
I'll get you one.
Thank you.
So 2019 or 2020. Anyways, the one thing that's weird about Jamal Emmers is the odds makers love Jamal Emmers.
Do they?
Like when he's a favorite, he's always a huge favorite. And when he's an underdog, he's never a big underdog.
Well, newsflash, buddy, you're wrong because he's a very slight underdog, plus 175.
Right, so very slight underdog against a guy that's 23-0.
You said a big underdog, for the record.
That's not what I meant to say.
Okay.
I meant to say he's either a big favorite or when he is an underdog, he's a very slight underdog.
Yep.
So they do love Jamal Emmers for what that's worth. Dangerous guy. He had his last fight against Pat Sabatini a couple years ago. That is what's holding me back from picking him.
The Sabatini fight?
The Pat Sabatini fight is what's holding me back from picking him. He dropped Pat Sabatini, who's a ground guy. He tried
an awful toe. This is why I think he's not like the smartest fighter, is because he tried a toe hold on Pat Sabatini.
Right. After having dropped
him. And he dropped him.
So like just get back up and he does have a wrestling base. He does have a wrestling background. He was an NAIA wrestler.
Sure.
So like he does have that in him, but it's like, hey man, it's okay. You dropped him. Get away from Pat Sabatini. Don't get on the ground with him. And he got subbed eventually, and it like destroyed his knee. He's been out for like almost 2 years at this point. The only thing that's holding me back from choosing him as an underdog is that. I think Ashkabov, with the surname, you understand what he wants to do. But even more so than that, he does have a good stand-up game. He does have good kicks. But he is that ground guy looking for a sub. I think he eventually probably gets Jamal Emmers in a sub.
Finishes him?
I would say he finishes him, but I'm very hesitant on it. Jamal Emmers is a tough guy. I think, regardless, though, we probably do see Ashkabov winning this fight one way or another. I'll say decision again, but there is definitely a route for a submission.
Yeah, I mostly agree with you. I feel like Ashkabov has more ways to win, and it's not close in terms of that. He's super aggressive. He's got really good throws and slams. He goes for the finish, you know. I think the one thing, I really like Jamal Emmers. I really do.
He's awesome.
And the Giga fight he showed great cardio. He showed great footwork. He didn't look out of place at all. And mind you, that was a split decision.
And his striking is next level, by the way.
His striking is really good. He's got a 74-inch reach.
Yeah.
I don't know what... now
69 for Ashkabov.
So that's a decent difference. Yeah. And the height difference is 2 inches, so it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But, you know... Yeah, I just think that he has more ways to win. Even though Jamal Emmers is a big guy for the division, I don't think he has really any jiu-jitsu to speak of. His wrestling is okay, decent, you know. I've noticed that when a fighter is very aggressive with him, he tends to kind of run around.
He fights on the back foot a lot.
Oh, like he like literally runs.
Yeah.
And if he's like dominating, like when he fought I think it was Cachero where he was dominating him, you know, or like for the most part.
Right.
He was he looked much different in that than even versus Giga.
Yeah.
You know? And versus Sabatini, I just think he made stupid decisions. Yeah, I just think Ashkabov has the better wrestling, and I think that'll be the difference. I'm going to go with Ashkabov, and I think he's going to finish him.
Okay.
I don't know how, probably by sub.
Yeah. Would you think of Jamal Emmers differently had he beat Pat Sabatini?
Seeing what happened to Pat Sabatini in his last fight? No. Before that, yes.
Fair.
So, does that make sense?
Yeah. By the way, I don't want to bet this fight.
Oh, I would be comfortable on a small parlay piece.
Okay.
Smart parlay.
Yeah.
You know, buzz off.
Okay. No, I'm with you. Smart parlay. Smart parlay.
Are you done?
No.
You finished or you done?
Themba Garimbo.
That's your guy.
That's my boy, I guess.
Moving on, another
girl, Lena Landsberg, by the way.
Another fight on the card, Lena Landsberg.
That's your girl.
Is it?
You made a lot of people my guys this episode, so.
True.
My boys.
True.
You can have her.
Lena Landsberg versus, who's she versus?
Mayra Bueno Silva.
Mayra Bueno Silva. This one's pretty straightforward for me. I'll go first. Please. I think Lena Landsberg is a lady that is a nice lady.
Nice lady.
Seems like a nice lady.
Wonderful lady.
10-7 in her professional record.
She's Swedish. Swedish people are really nice.
Fine.
Shout out my family.
By the way, she calls herself the Elbow Queen. I looked through her record. She has 2 finishes by elbow last two, one in 2015, one in 2014. Yeah. So
there's things in my life, Dino, that I've done once or twice that
you're
I wish
holding
I
on
could
to
be
them.
the king of.
No, you're holding on to them.
Yeah, that I wish I could be the king of.
Many times I've heard this.
Call myself.
I'm just trying to say, it's not like Mayra Bueno Silva has beaten any crazy competition. She lost to Manon Fiorot was her last loss, which now looks really good.
Unbelievable.
Or is it Fior?
Manon Fior.
Manon Fior, that's right. She lost to Marina Moroz, which, you know, she's still here, right?
Right.
Her last 3 fights, she had wins. Lena Landsberg, you know, her last 3 fights were losses. Just off that, I'm going to just go with the younger fighter, should be hungrier, Mayra Bueno Silva. Yeah. Probably by decision.
Yeah, so Mayra Bueno Silva is 9 years younger. It's a 40-year-old woman versus a 31-year-old.
She's a mom.
Yeah, I mean, you could be a mom at any age. Don't talk about mothers. Don't be mean about mothers.
Me of all people would not be, believe me.
So there's a 40-year-old woman and a 31-year-old woman. Lena Landsberg is not that impressive.
No, like, she never did. She never looked impressive.
Mayra Bueno Silva, she had that nasty armbar recently. I don't know if it was her last fight or the one before that, but it was nasty. And like you said, she lost to Manon Fiorot, which she looked okay against Manon Fiorot, which is like a huge, which is huge praise.
I hear how Manon Fiorot is like
not getting finished.
She always Kias with her.
Yeah. Right, but not getting finished by her is impressive.
It's not tennis.
Yeah, but women's MMA is essentially tennis with the yelling.
You said it, not me.
Hot take. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and trust the 9-year younger lady that's a minus 450.
Oh, is that the odds?
So I'm going to go Mayra Bueno Silva round 1.
Hot take here. Lock of the card. Lock it in.
Yeah, sub Mayra Bueno Silva.
Moving on to the next fight on the card. It's the 6th one of the night. It's Nazim Sadikov, who is solid prospect, versus Evan Elder, another solid prospect, equivalent record 7-1 each of them. Dino Bam Bam, let me know what you think, my friend.
All right, so first we have Nazim. Is it Sadikov?
Yes.
Is that how you pronounce it?
I would think so.
Yeah, so he's a Cerro Longo guy, trains with Aljo, Marab, and of course that means he trains with your boy, Dennis Bazooka. Bazookia. Your boy. Anyways, so he's making his UFC debut after winning via KO in his Contender Series. Good power, won his last 4 fights via finish, so he is a finisher. He's explosive, trains with high-level guys. It's hard to tell with his, everything about him because it's a limited sample size and it's not like the highest level of competition, but his ground game is very solid. His stand-up game is super explosive, and
he throws hard, man.
Yeah, he throws
hard, and honestly, like, he was winning handily that Hassan Zada fight.
Yeah,
the Contender Series fight. Yeah. And I was actually very impressed by the other guy because he started, like, doing some real damage and, like, taking him down.
Yeah.
But my goodness, man, that knockout was...
Yeah, he's violent.
That knockout was beautiful.
He has a lot of power for sure, and I'm going to trust the ground game because he trains with Aljo and Marab daily. So that tells me, like, you got to be doing things on the ground. He passes the eye test.
He's got really good technical striking, and he likes to throw some nice spinning kicks, too, and he's really good at them, too. Also, I noticed his cardio is really good.
Yeah. So he looks
He never once looked tired.
No. In the fights that I've seen, he hasn't. 28 years old. He's starting to reach that peak. This is kind of the prime. This is where you want to be. He passes the eye test to me more so than Elder does. Like, the resume is also a bit more impressive than Evan Elder's is. We saw Elder getting touched up in his first UFC fight by Parsons. We saw him getting taken down, controlled often, couple arm
I just want to say that at that
cinched.
Fight, he did fight up a weight class.
Yeah, he fought up a weight class and short notice.
Short notice and up a weight class, and he's not like a big guy to begin with.
Right.
And Elder, or I'm sorry, the other guy that he fought, Parsons.
Yeah.
He had his first fight in the UFC was against D-Rod.
Right.
I just don't understand that, dude. I just don't get that.
Anyways, I think, to me, I've seen a little more out of Nazim than I have out of Evan Elder in terms of, like, future and what that holds for them.
Yeah.
I'll trust Nazim here with that power, which looks like it's legit for 155. I'll trust him to finish this fight one way or another. I'll go KO probably round 2 via a punch, right hand or something.
Yeah, I like it, man. I pretty much agree with you. He's from Azerbaijan. It's not. We don't have a lot of fighters from there.
Right. There's a ton in one.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there's a ton of them
in
one.
But don't mistake him for a neckbeard guy.
Different kind of beard.
Right. Yeah, I think really technical striking, great cardio, great ground and pound. You know, he's very technical.
Yeah.
He can put people out at the weight class. You know, nice spinning stuff. Really nice. You know what he does really good?
What is that?
Like, I don't know why people constantly keep trying to take him down, and like they hold him against the cage, and it's like he does these like inside elbows really good. When you like got him pinned and he hits you with the inside elbow. He does that in every single fight, and he does damage with them. So I like that he's savvy like that. Evan Elder, man, I respect him. I really like the kid. I really, really do. Even against Parsons, you know, who's a guy that clearly is much bigger, looked bigger for the division, is bigger, short notice. Man, he looked... I know he got messed up for the first couple rounds, but man, he looked pretty good.
Like, it's not out of the question that he wins.
Dude, it's absolutely not. Yeah. What are the odds on this one?
Man, they got to be close. I mean, I would assume Nazim's probably a 160, 170.
175 for Nazim, 145 for Elder.
Yeah.
Man, Elder fighting back down at his natural weight class.
We'll see.
You know, before his last 2 fights before the UFC, he had a head kick knockout in like a minute.
Yeah.
And then a third round KO, but it was against like a 37-year-old guy who didn't look that great.
Right.
You know, I just think the wrestling's going to be the difference with Nazim, and I think he'll probably TKO him on the ground.
Okay. And yeah, I mean, so we both see a finish at some point there for
Probably.
Nazim.
Probably.
And can we get my boy Dennis Bazookia in the UFC, or what's up?
Who is that?
What does he got to do?
Who?
You should watch some film on him after this.
Who is that? I feel like it sounds you're pronouncing it wrong.
Isn't it Bazookia?
That's not.
What you corrected me and said that.
I feel like you're saying it wrong.
It's Dennis Bazooka is what I was saying, and then you said it was Bazooka.
Well, now I got to look it up.
All right, let's look it up.
Is it B-A-Z?
Bazooka. But it's with a J-A. Or I-A, I don't know.
You know what? You did say it decently. I just didn't expect it to be spelled so Eastern Europeanly.
Yeah, what is it?
B-U-Z-U-K-J-A. Okay. Bazooka.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
What do you assume he is, ethnicity-wise?
Polish.
Polish?
With like, why?
I just assumed like
or
Serbian
Lithuanian.
or like Croatian or something.
Nah, he wouldn't have 2 N's in his name.
Yeah.
Where is he? He says he's from Staten Island, so there you go.
Hey. So he's American. He's from Staten Island. What are you talking about?
Moving up the card, the next fight on the card is, and this is wild to me. This is on the prelim still. That's kind of
no. They moved it to the main card opener.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy. No comment on what fight should be bumped out, but it's Jim Miller who has the most wins in the UFC history, the most fights in the UFC history, which is like 38, which is absolutely insane.
Most fight time. It's 39. I think it's 40. But whatever.
I think you're a goddamn liar.
Okay.
And I'm not going to stand for that. But he's fighting ya boy, Alex Hernandez.
Don't do that.
I mean, I'm just saying, he seems like a...
I feel like I'm getting like the short end of the straw on the ya boys.
Well, that's what I do.
That's really mean.
That's what we do here. I throw him...
Like terrible people.
Yeah.
Like...
He's actually... Alex Hernandez, in my opinion...
Okay.
One of the most disappointing UFC fighters.
Can I?
Period.
Can I? I don't mind.
Please, go for it.
I just want to, I need to break this down. We've talked about him so much, me and you, over the last few years.
Yeah, we shouldn't have. I probably just want to say, can I say?
Yeah.
Just want to say, I probably lost more money on Alex Hernandez than any other fighter on the entire roster.
Yeah.
Or not even anybody who's ever been on the roster. So please.
Okay. Who's more annoying than Alex Hernandez?
As a person?
As just like a UFC fighter. As a person, there's probably like worse people. I'm sure he's an okay guy.
True.
But as a UFC fighter, he's the most annoying person. So here we go. His debut fight in the UFC. What does he do? He comes in and knocks out Beneil Dariush. And it's like, oh, damn, okay.
And he was young as hell.
Yeah, it's like, damn, okay. We got something for real here, right?
Yep.
We got something serious. Then he beats...
was that a featherweight?
55.
Okay, lightweight.
Yeah, so he comes in, he beats Beneil, knocks him out. Then he beats Olivier Aubin-Messier of PFL fame. I think he just won the PFL $1 million tournament. Good for him. And then he talks shit. He thinks he's 2-0. He's going to get it. Talks shit. Gets killed by Cowboy Cerrone. Gets knocked out. Okay. Then he beats Francisco Trinaldo. Then he gets killed by Drew Dober.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Okay. Then he beats Chris Gertismacher. Then he loses to Thiago Moises. Yep. Then he beats Mike Breeden. Then he has back-to-back losses where he gets owned by Moicano and Billy Quarantillo, Billy Q, and that's where we are today. And that's been his UFC career.
You know what's interesting? First of all, the Moicano loss obviously doesn't look bad now.
No.
Moicano's doing his thing. He's top of the division now, getting there. What's weird, you know what's a funny concept to me? Is that the Billy Q fight.
Yeah.
I would have thought more of that. I like Billy Q too.
Who doesn't?
I would have thought more of that win before that win. Does that make any sense to you?
No.
Like him beating Billy Q as bad as he did in the first round.
Yeah.
Made me more than it gave props to Alex Hernandez in my mind. Mm-hmm. More than that, I was like, damn, Billy Q's maybe not as good as I thought. Like that, which is weird. Does that make sense?
It's so bad that's how you have to think.
Well, that's because he is who he is.
And that's Alex Hernandez.
Yeah.
Right. So anyways, man.
He's got one round. He's got one round.
Yeah.
And if he it's a don't get me wrong, it's a good round.
Yeah.
If he can mess you up in that round,
you're messed up.
He can mess you up brutally. And he's great on the ground, he's great on the feet. Right. But if he can't, he's gonna gas out,
and he's gonna get finished.
To be just real quick, when he fought was it Moicano?
Moicano wants money.
No, who did he fight? His last fight, he dropped. It was when he fought Billy Q.
Yeah,
it was at featherweight.
Yeah,
so he really gassed in that one, especially as lean of a guy as he is at 155. I get that, but man, we'll see if his cardio is better. But yeah, So, but please keep going.
With that being said, I don't like Alex Hernandez. I'm sorry if you like him. But anyways, I just want to shout out Jim Miller. 41st UFC fight, by the way.
That's
most
crazy.
In history, like you said, most UFC wins, most octagon time over 6 hours. Cool thing about Jim Miller, he fought at UFC 100 back in 2009. Fought at UFC 200 back in 2016. Says he wants to fight at UFC 300, which is going to be.
I think they're going to give it to him. They're going to give it to him.
Yeah, why not?
And that'll probably be his retirement.
And he said he's going to retire after.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he said it's most likely retire. Look at you. That you have a keen mind for this stuff.
That's what they tell me.
Hey, so good for him. He's on a 2-fight winning streak. I think, like you said, Dino, if he can survive that first round, which if anyone is a veteran in the UFC, it's Jim Miller. If anyone has the smarts, it's Jim Miller, having been in there for 17,000 years. I think he can survive that first round, and then I think he can finish Alex Hernandez. I don't think it's out of the question that he finishes him via sub. So give me Jim Miller, RNC, third round.
Yeah, I don't see this fight. I'll agree with you in the sense that I don't see this fight going to the distance by any means, personally.
Alex might finish him in the first.
I have really gone back and forth on this.
Yeah.
I have really, really, really gone back and forth on this one. Like I told you, this guy's lost me more money than anybody else in the UFC. I really like Jim Miller. I just think that Cerrone was catching him.
Yeah.
Cerrone was catching him. And
Cerrone caught Alex Hernandez, too, violently.
He did. But that was a little bit before.
Yeah, but it's Cowboy, bro. I'm not going to take Cowboy slander if that's what we're doing here.
But how was I slandering Cowboy?
I'm just saying, if that's what you're going to.
And not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Have some respect.
Okay, you know what? You're a bitch. Now I have to look up. Now I have to look up when they each fought Cowboy Cerrone because
Jim Miller was last year in April.
Okay, I know that.
And then Alex Hernandez was maybe 2016.
No, it wasn't that long. It was 2019.
Okay, so I'm way off. I'm sorry.
But still, though, that was in MMA years. That's 4 years ago.
Yeah, dude. I still think 2016 was 3 years ago. By the way, so
same.
Yeah.
But oh god, don't say that. Okay. Anyway, I'm just saying. God, I hate this. When I watched the film,
yeah,
I'm like, I'm going Jim Miller. Especially he's a slight underdog. I want to say.
Yeah, it's like it's like a 140 or something like that. I remember checking.
It's a plus 160 for Jim Miller.
Yeah,
minus 200.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll put it to you this way. God damn it! I really hate this.
Put it to us.
This is gonna be the goddamn last time. And if you, Alex Hernandez, if you ever watch this, this is the last time. Okay. Last time.
Alex?
Hey! Alex. This is the last time. I'm going to say Alex Hernandez.
Okay.
First round knockout.
So when you lose your money...
I know. I'm not... No, but this is what I'm saying. Yeah. God forbid, don't bet that. Don't bet that. If I'm betting and I'm doing like a $10, $15 parlay, I'm saying Jim Miller. Yeah. Give me the Jim Miller underdog. With plus money.
On a winning streak. Versus a guy on a losing streak. And not only is this
not only is he on a losing streak, Alex Hernandez doesn't win You know what? I'm gonna say undecided. I can't pick somebody.
You're just not doing it.
Ugh.
You got to do it. Just pick one. Who's gonna win?
Alex Hernandez.
Okay. You're gonna lose money again.
I'm not betting that. I'm just saying.
You should.
So anyway, are you done with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so done with
that.
I
need to move on from that because I have a lot of anxiety right now.
I hope Jim Miller wins and Alex Hernandez is out of the UFC. Then
I also hope Jim Miller wins.
Then I don't have to deal with him.
Well, okay. I do want to say on that note, if Alex Hernandez does lose, God's sake, get him out of here. He's 13-6. He'd be 13-7.
I know, but they won't.
But he's not a spring chicken anymore.
Chicken?
Get him out of there. Chicken. Get him out of there.
He's only 30. Whatever. Who cares?
Okay. Anyway, please, let's move on.
Please.
Moving on.
Yo, boy, big time.
Sick ass card. The main event opener, William.
No, this is the second on the main card now.
Oh, I'm sorry. The second on the main card, William Knight versus ya boy, whose name you butchered earlier, Marcin Prachnio.
I don't know how in the world you're choosing him to be my boy. I like William Knight more than I like Marcin Prachnio. Prachnio?
So you did it again.
Who cares? Tough fight to call.
His parents named him. They put in the work.
Yeah.
They put in the time.
It's hard for me.
And now here you
I'm
are,
not Polish. I can't.
thousands of miles away in Chicago, taking all kinds of liberties.
You think they could say my name?
Do you know Bartram?
Or
Everybody can
name?
say that.
How about your name?
Nobody can
How about
say
Dennis
that.
Bazooka's name?
You barely said it.
That's what
you
I'm
just
trying
said
to
it
say.
wrong. So anyway,
whatever.
Please tell me what you think.
Tough fight to call. I'll tell you what it boils down to, though, right? This fight boils down to, can you avoid being touched by William Knight if you're Prachnio? That's what it boils down to. He is 6 inches taller, so he does have that length.
But the reach
is pretty even, or is it... What is that? Yeah, they have Prachnio with a 1 inch reach advantage. So can he stay away?
By the way, in this picture, William Knight looks like D'Angelo.
William Knight is like the thickest dude in the UFC.
He got cheeks.
He's like 5'8".
He's cheeked up, bro.
He's like 5'8". He's got to walk around at like 245, 250.
You can't tell me he doesn't look like D'Angelo here.
He does in that picture. Check out his Tapology photo if you guys are interested in seeing that. Yeah, dude, he is a really intimidating looking fella. And I think that as good as Prachnio is, I don't think he can avoid it for 15 minutes. And we've seen the cardio. It is there for William Knight. And then he had that weird knockout on Fabio Cherant, the Water Buffalo, which is such a good nickname.
Is it though?
He clipped him with the side of his wrist and knocked him out. Mm-hmm. So
it was like a check forearm.
Yeah, but it wasn't even. It was thrown from here.
I thought how about this? When I was watching that live, I thought he got dropped.
I don't know. Yeah, first or second round. I think there's no way you avoid it if you're Prachnio. I don't think there's any way you avoid getting caught by something big within the first 2 rounds, let alone 15 minutes.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna go with William Knight too, to be honest. And he's the underdog. Yeah. Yeah, slight underdog. That's what we said.
I haven't checked it. I'll check it right now.
I thought we said that. Hold on.
You have it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's a plus 100. It's damn near even. Minus 125 for Prachnio. Plus 100 for William Knight.
I'm 100% betting the underdog then.
Yeah, and it's not much of an underdog, but yeah, man. Versus Cherant, he KO'd him violently. Mm-hmm. For a dude that he's so stocky, and he was pissed that fight, dude.
Can I cut you off? I have to ask you here. There's a question I'm burning for.
Yeah.
What do they drink?
William Knight
and Marcin Prachnio first.
Marcin Prachnio?
Yeah.
There's vodka, dude.
Just straight vodka?
100%.
Like grain-based vodka or potato-based?
Potatoes.
Say it again?
Potatoes.
Okay. With that kind of... Yeah. Good thing we have these.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Potatoes.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
What does William Knight drink? It's a good question.
It is.
You don't know.
I feel like he probably doesn't.
No, he drinks, bro.
You think, dude?
Yeah.
I feel like it's either
like he's health conscious. You don't think he dude,
he's probably on steroids,
right?
Dude.
So not putting that poison.
Steroids and booze don't mix. That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying, if you're willing to put steroids in your body, you dabble in alcohol.
I'll do a suppository right now.
Hey, why not?
I would say
Scotch?
No fucking way, Scott. Like Hennessy White?
Hennessy White, okay.
Or just like a good regular ass beer. Like a Blue Moon.
Okay, like a craft, but
because
not
he
like
doesn't really drink like that, but like
right, so he's out, he's got to have a drink.
Yeah,
he's out with friends.
He'll have a Blue Moon. Right? Who is he to say?
Right. But Pragnio drinks vodka.
Oh, for sure, dude.
And then earlier, it just popped in my mind. I did want to mention that OSP drinks spiced rum for sure.
100%.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. Go ahead and continue on this fight.
Pragnio, great kicks. Totally different fighters. Pragnio's long, tall, nice side kick, good feints, throws a good head kick too. Man, he's so weird. He's such a weird fighter to try to predict because he has a win against Khalil Roundtree, which was a close fight.
Yeah.
But, man, like, he did beat him.
And that's someone who is dangerous a la William Knight. Right?
Yeah, it is.
So, like,
it is. Yeah.
I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Not like...
It is, but Khalil Roundtree is much taller.
Right.
And he's jacked. But Khalil Roundtree gassed really bad. And the reason that Pragnio won that fight is because... Are you finished or are you done?
No. People are just...
okay. Yeah. The reason Pragnio won that fight is because he just had more cardio.
Yeah.
And the end of the second and the third round, he just... There wasn't a lot of power behind. He just kept touching him up, you know? William Knight, though, man, he's got great wrestling. I don't know if you noticed, he has grappling tournaments on the side.
Yeah. We talked about that, actually, like last week.
I don't remember that at all, but that's fine.
You're usually drunk.
It's not true. But anyway, this was a really tough one for me.
Yeah.
There's not a ton of tough ones here but on this card, but there are a handful of them.
Yeah.
This is one of them. Like, I could see Pragnio outpointing him. I'm going to go with William Knight catching him at some point, too. I think that's what you said.
Yep.
Probably second round, I'll say. But if it goes to the ground, I think William Knight's got the win, too. So...
Yeah, he's too dangerous.
Yeah.
For a guy that... And Pragnio looks good, but he doesn't look that good.
William Knight is by no means a technical striker.
No, but he's a shit brick house.
Good God.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's jacked, dude.
That's a scary dude.
Yep, absolutely. In any case, moving on to the third to last fight on the card.
I'm going to jump in right here. That's your boy, Jamal Pogues.
I really do like him.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Not as much as a fighter as I do just as a person. I just really hope he does well.
That was sweet, right? The
post-fight? Oh, man, dude.
Yeah.
That'll bring a tear to your eye, honestly. So, Josh Parisian versus Jamal Pogues, who's making his UFC debut. Josh Parisian, a UFC veteran. Let me know your thoughts first, please.
Yeah, so we've been talking so much shit lately about UFC heavyweights. It's been,
it's a bunch of fat, sloppy dudes. Right. And it's not that we're talking shit. We could lie to you guys if you want, but you've seen it for yourselves. This ain't nothing new.
Right, so here we go. Josh Parisian, whose name we've mentioned a few times, actually, in the last few weeks. Definitely while talking about Parker Porter and other heavyweights like that. But anyways, he has losses to Dontel Mays and the aforementioned Parker Porter. He beat male model Alan Badeau and Roque Martinez, who, same thing. Same... Think about him. He's the same thing.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I feel like all these guys are the same.
Yeah, they're all in that mix that we've been talking about for a while here. Then you have Jamal Pogues, looks solid on the Dana White Contender Series. I like his boxing skills, man. Pretty crisp, very crisp with the straight shots.
I see this fat guy. Oh, I'm fighting this fat guy. I wonder what he's going to do.
Yeah. It's the same fit, yeah.
He's throwing blows.
Right.
No cardio.
So...
Slight ground game.
So Jamal, we saw him in that Dana White Contender Series fight. Like I said, I liked his boxing skills. Very crisp and quick.
Did you?
For his size, the straight punches. Anyways.
He did have nice jabs.
His little chicken legs, though, were getting chewed up.
Dude, and he threw I was shocked that first of all, they weren't hard.
No, the other guy was terrible.
The other guy was like 205 pounds soaking wet.
Right.
Fighting a heavyweight. So...
Anyways, I'll trust the 27-year-old here over the veteran Josh Parisian, and maybe this is just me, being optimistic. Maybe it's just me hoping, but I'm hoping
you're truly a beacon of light. Since I've known you.
Thank you. Yeah.
You are. Oh my God.
Is that how you guys think about me? Like, is that how you talk about me behind closed doors?
Everyone all the time.
Yeah.
So happy and positive all the time.
Optimistic, bubbly Dino.
Oh, you just bubbly is.
Bubbly is. Yeah.
Bubbly is the perfect word. Let me tell you.
Yeah. So being the bubbly guy that I am, I have faith in this kid. No, I can't be that optimistic. But yeah, Jamal Pogues, he's all right. He
said, let me take it back a notch or two.
Right. He's okay. He's fine. He has good boxing skills. I hope he
wins.
He
went from I've got faith in this kid to he's okay, he's fine.
I was trying to be the bubbly Dino that you guys pretend I am.
Yeah, right. You're keeping up appearances.
To who I really am.
Sure.
Which is not
then nobody
optimistic.
Notices it all ever.
Yeah, anyways.
On that note, yeah, Josh Parisian, not good.
Here we go. Why are you so negative?
Not good. He's just not good. Not a good
you
fighter.
Like his beard?
Dante Mays took him down, put him. How you get put in a crucifix twice in a fight? You got put into it in the first round, and then you get put it again, and then you get knocked out in the crucifix. Come on, dude.
Is this not the epitome of strength?
That's peak male performance. You may not like it, but.
I wish I would have saved what does he drink for this fight?
Bro, we're shaped the same, and I sit here and talk.
Can I ask you, Dino?
Yeah.
What do they drink?
Actually, no comment. Sorry.
What do they drink?
Who?
These two. Parisian
Josh Pogues? Jamal Pogues?
Yeah.
Jamal Pogues drinks Coronas.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a good family life. Like he's got to
right,
take care of things. Nice guy.
Parisian.
Man, whatever he can get his paws on, dude.
This guy.
This guy.
He's fratty.
Oh, he's ready to go, dude.
Yeah.
He's throwing punches.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel that. Looking at all these pictures, you could tell.
Why he looked like that. Yeah.
But
anyway, Josh Parisian beat male model Alan Badeau.
Male model.
Not very good.
Trash.
He's a can.
Trash can?
Absolutely. Jamal Pogues, I haven't seen a ton of film on him, honestly. He has decent boxing, like you said, good straight punches. But the guy that he fought on the Contender Series...
He looked bad.
Not good and looked way undersized and didn't throw anything besides leg kicks. I hope Jamal Pogues wins, and he's a big favorite. Kind of weird to me that he's such a big favorite. I'm going to go Josh Parisian. I hope I'm wrong, but I'll go Josh Parisian. Mm-hmm. Especially at those odds. Like, that's a good, small parlay piece. Like a good, two sure things and like that.
Yeah. Not too much of a gamble on it, but yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yep. Moving on to the co-main event. My goodness. Now, this is a ya boy.
This is a real my boy.
Jordan Wright.
The Beverly Hills Ninja.
Something.
Dope nickname.
Versus Zach Pauga.
Not my boy.
Give me your thoughts. By the way, Zach Pauga fought. His last fight was against Muhammad Usman.
Yeah.
He ended up losing that, even though he was winning the fight. He got knocked out brutally, which was a great punch. But realistically, if you're looking at skills, Muhammad Usman did not look good.
Right.
This is his first. He fought throughout the Contender Series at heavyweight. This is his first fight that we've seen as a pro at light heavyweight.
Yeah.
So that's a big question mark, I would say.
Sure.
Because we've seen, like we said, Felipe Lins looks like a different human being at this weight class.
Yeah.
So give me your thoughts on it.
Yeah. So we have Jordan Wright versus Zach Pauga. First and foremost, when it comes to Zach, that entire season of The Ultimate Fighter, was terrible.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the guys, the men or the women, because there was 2 different weight classes. I don't think any of them are good.
Yeah, I don't think so
UFC
either.
prospects. So I digress. He was winning that fight against Mo Usman till he didn't, till he got caught and got put out pretty damn bad. So that's kind of what we've seen of him in the show.
And they trained together too.
Yeah. In the show, he was all right, but I never thought highly of anyone on that entire season of the show.
Same.
And I continue not to. Then you have Jordan Wright. Jordan Wright to me is the weirdest guy, man. He came into the UFC, got a knockout.
You said this is a your boy.
This is my boy. I love Jordan Wright. He's exciting, man. He listen to his UFC fights. He's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 UFC fights. Came in, immediately knocked out Ike Villanueva in the first round.
Ike Villanueva is I'll go on record, one of the worst heavyweights to ever show his face in the UFC.
But that was at 205. So, whatever.
I guess Ike Villanueva?
Yeah.
How did that come off?
I don't know. It happened. Okay. So, he beat Ike Villanueva via immediate knockout. Then he had a fight against Joaquin Buckley. Joaquin Buckley ended up knocking him out in the second round very early.
Yep.
Then he knocked out Jamie Pickett in the first round 1 minute in. Then he's had 3 straight losses via finish, knockout, submission, knockout, first round, second round. And that was against Bruno Silva, Marc-Andre Barriault, and Duško Todorovic, which are all...
trash.
I mean, they're not trash. They're like middle-of-the-pack UFC guys, I think. Anyways, we know who Jordan Wright is. He's going to finish you, or you're going to finish him.
You're probably going to finish him.
Right. Do we trust in Zach Pauga? I don't know.
Especially at this weight class.
Yeah, I mean, at 205, it's very iffy. I have no idea what the odds are. I have no clue how this fight's going to go, except for the fact that one of them is getting finished very damn early.
That's fine.
I'm going to go ahead and trust in my boy, Jordan Wright.
Zach Pauga, by the way, whoa, minus 300 favorite.
Yeah, what's the
+240.
return? Plus 240. Yeah, I'm taking Jordan Wright. If he's a plus 240 against a guy that I don't think is that good,
money line, or you're saying just
money line? But I would take him by knockout.
Yeah, I disagree. I'm gonna go with.
That's fine, and you should.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Zach Pauga. Not that I've seen anything at all special from him. To me, more than anything, when I'm talking about these two fighters with you, more than anything to me, the question is what are they doing on the co-main event?
No, when you have Jim Miller and Alex Hernandez earlier in the card,
or even
you have OSP.
Even OSP was at least a name.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
you have a prospect coming in at 24-0 and Ashkabov.
You got Ashkabov. You got AJ Fletcher, who's done some decent things.
Yeah, you got names on this card.
Nazim Sadikov, Evan Elder. I would rather see that too. William Knight, Marcin Prachnio. That should be the co-main of all those. That should probably be it.
I mean,
like
this can be 3, 4, maybe 5 fights back.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Jordan Wright's lost to anybody that's not a straight up can. He could upset him. Pauga's a big guy. You know, I don't trust Jordan Wright's chin.
Did he play in the NFL, Pauga? Am I remembering?
He played football somewhere. I don't know if it was an NFL or if it was
like semi-pro or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I just don't trust Jordan Wright's chin. He was knocked out in October, I want to say.
Yeah.
Was it?
October 15th.
So I know they were both knocked out in their last fights, but
and he was knocked out
August,
yeah. So 2-3 months.
I mean, at least a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And also, I've seen Jordan Wright lose a lot more. I'm gonna go with Pauga. Not confident at all.
I just like
probably by knockout, but I'm not confident.
No, this fight's finishing.
Yeah,
they're not going to.
Yeah, they're not.
So,
well, I've never seen this guy at light heavyweight. That's my only hesitation.
Right, but you've seen Jordan Wright at heavyweight. So
he's not good. So
light heavyweight. Sorry.
You think if he loses this, is he out of the company?
Jordan Wright?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I hope not. Not good. I hope not.
No, I mean, whatever.
I hope not.
Whatever needs to happen.
No.
Moving on to the spectacular main event that we were presented with. Jessica Andrade versus Erin Blanchfield.
Yeah.
This is a much better fight, in my opinion, than Taila Santos versus Erin Blanchfield, though I think she would have had a little bit more of a chance to win. I probably still would have taken Santos.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a little too soon for Erin Blanchfield. Jessica Andrade, we've talked about her before on this podcast. She throws like a dude. We've seen what she just did to Lauren Murphy, who is a veteran of the game no matter what you think of her.
And tough as hell.
Tough as hell.
Yeah.
She's not going to... I don't think she's going to... Erin Blanchfield's going to want to wrestle her and take her down. She's not submitting Jessica Andrade like that. She's not going to take her down and wrestle bang her.
Not a chance.
I don't see her having anything on the feet for Andrade. She Andrade beat Amanda Lemos. She just beat Lauren Murphy. I know she got messed up by Shevchenko, but who doesn't? She's fought the best of the best. One of the best women's fighters of all time. Still in her prime, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I'm going Andrade TKO in the first or maybe the second, but I think she'll finish it by TKO.
Yeah, I mean, Jessica Andrade is so damn good. I think she is right there with Zhang Wei Li. She is right there with possibly past Rose Namajunas.
Yeah.
She's on that level.
Yep.
So she gets a title shot if she wins this fight. I think she does win this fight. I think, like
and
you
then
said,
against Valentina again,
I mean, that's fine.
Low key, it would be better for the company for Blanchfield to win.
Sure, but
it's not going to happen.
But Jessica Andrade,
this is one I'm more comfortable with this than many fights in this card. Most fights in this card, yeah.
Same. And you've said multiple times in the past that you don't really trust women's fights.
I don't bet, and I don't trust them, unless I'm doing tiny parlays.
Right,
yeah.
But dude, we have to go back to January and what we saw Jessica Andrade do to Lauren Murphy. she looked like a goddamn killer in there. Dude. And Lauren Murphy's no schlub.
Dude, that was brutal.
Like,
what was so weird to me is Lauren Murphy came out after, like, you guys, like, are, like, hating on me. Like, dude, we're not hating on you. We're concerned for you. You got brutalized.
Yeah. Her corner should have stopped that fight. Anyways, I digress. Jessica Andrade is so dope to me, man. I really think this is too much, too soon for Erin Blanchfield. She did beat Molly McCann, and she made Molly... Shout out Molly. Right
Shout out Molly. I don't think Molly's that good, though.
She made Molly look terrible.
I think that was like the
She beat Erin Blanchfield.
That was it for Molly. As far as like she's not moving from. Yeah. Like there are fighters below her that she could beat, but not above.
Right. And she beat Erin Blanchfield. She beat Miranda Maverick. Like she is good.
Miranda. Oh, fuck you. Whatever you want to be fucked.
Yeah, that was too much. Molly, chill out. No. But anyway, she's a good fighter, man. But
not in a gay way. Hey, that was fire.
That was great. Molly is also...
You did meet her.
Slight brag here, but humble brag. Molly, I wanted to hate her.
Yeah.
Like, I did not want to like Molly McCann because Patty...
Nah, not me. Patty, I could... But Molly, you gotta like.
I didn't want to.
Yeah.
And then when I met her...
Your mom didn't want to.
No, we didn't like her.
Yeah.
And then, dude, she, like, humbled me real quick. It was just like, I talked to her, I was like, hey, what's... And, like... She was the nicest. We were talking about bubbly earlier.
Yeah.
Like, if you think I'm bubbly.
Oh, I don't.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, so.
But yeah, she is.
No, but she was the most bubbly, nice person I've ever met, and that's a fighter.
Yeah.
Like, you hurt people for a living.
Yep.
But, like, I wanted to, like, hang out with her and just, like, cuddle up.
Oh. on that note.
Jessica Andrade is murdering
Erin
Blanchfield.
Yep.
Yeah, Erin Blanchfield.
And that'll do it for the card. You know, thank you for tuning in. It's not the best of cards, but we're still here for it, okay? It's not the best of cards, but please consider.
Yeah.
One thing that I've done recently is we've always watched unnecessary amounts of film. I watch like 20 hours of film per card. I know he does too. And not only that, I don't watch any other things that'll bias my opinion. I base my opinions that you see on this podcast exclusively on the film that I've watched, and so does he. So, on that note, Dino Bam Bam, take us out.
Yeah, just want to chime in really quickly. Dino, one more thing. Next week's card, also not that good. But then after that, the Lord has blessed us because we get a banger of a card at UFC.
I'm nervous now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Are you starting to feel it?
I'm nervous already, yeah.
Because me and you are doing research now for next week's card.
Yep.
But pretty soon we're going to be doing research for UFC 285. I cannot wait for the return of John Jones.
Me too.
Versus Cyril. This is going to be dope.
Yep.
The heavyweight debut. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. If you haven't, please do that. Leave us some comments. Let us know what you think.
Give him the handle.
Yeah.
The handle.
Instagram?
Yeah.
10-7 MMA on Instagram.
Yep.
And this guy right here, Yuri, he follows us. You should too, okay? You should too.
Please and thank you.
Please and thank you. That's all you got to say?
Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.